Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cover the Spread for Saturday, October 4th, 2025. Looking good, all ready to go for Golf Saturday. Hey, if you're new to Cover the Spread, welcome aboard. Glad you're here joining us. Make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up as well. And hey, if you want, flip on that notification bell. That way you get notified and you can grab the best of the number with us as well. Excited for the college football Saturday slate. Loaded one. We got some big games, and hey, we're going to cover some of those big games. But before we do that, we'll get the cappers, see how excited they are for Saturday's action, and then we'll get right to it. Head on over to Vegas. Al, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Got some Saturday college football ahead of us. Some big matchups here. Florida, Texas, that's a big one there. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Right, and then a rematch of last year's big upset when they took the goalpost and walked it down to the river, did Vandy. So hey, we got that one covered for you as well. Let's see if we get the marching of the goalpost again. Ooh-wee. Heading over to Ninos. How are you doing? You excited for Saturday's action?
Always excited for the weekend now with football back in action. Yeah, definitely got a nice little college slate here to look at. You mentioned a couple big games, and we'll be looking at a couple other big ones. I know I mentioned the game to watch last week was that Oregon Penn State one, but hey, we'll be looking at Alabama again this week, so stay tuned.
I wonder if they would march that goalpost all the way from Alabama all the way back to Vandy. You know what? I think the Vandy fans and alum, I think they might block up the highway if they win another one. So, hey, without further ado, we said we got that game covered for you, and that's where we're going to kick it off. Vandy heading into Alabama. Ninos' game, he's going to get us going. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, again, we went against Alabama last week. I was all over Georgia as well. Ended up a close, hard-fought battle here. We're expecting, it's a slightly bigger spread in this one. Bama coming in as double-digit favorites, just laying the 10.5 there. They're expected to win this one more comfortably, but again, I think Vanderbilt a pretty good team in their own right. They've looked great so far this season, coming in at 5-0. Their quarterback Diego Pavia has looked great, and obviously, yes, Alabama will be looking for its payback too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to keep their foot on the gas with any kind of lead here, as they dropped this one 40-35 last year. But again, they could try to build that lead all they want. I still think that the Commodores here will hang tough with this one. Expect them to come out here and try to establish their run game early, as they may be forced to throw it a bit more later against a pretty solid pass defense here. But again, they got a pretty solid defense themselves. So that can stop Alabama's run if they try to run the clock out with any kind of lead. So that should keep them in this one as well. Getting just over the 10 points here. I'll take the 10 points with the hook with Vanderbilt to keep this one somewhat respectable on the road here in Bama.
Head on over to Vegas, Al. What do you like here in this matchup?
I'm going to go to a prop here in this one. The guy had a standout freshman season last year. Ryan Williams hasn't gotten targeted as much this year. 15 receptions here, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns this year. I expect them to find him this game here against Vanderbilt. Big revenge spot here for Bama. I think Ryan Williams has a big day here. 65.5 yards receiving. I'll take the over. So Ryan Williams for 66 yards receiving. We'll take that.
Yeah, for me here in this matchup, I'm going to look at the first half. I think it's too many. You're getting 6 here with Vanderbilt and company in that first half. I think they can keep it close. You look what they've been doing offensively in the first half of games. This season, they've been mustering up about 25 points a game in those first halves. Where Alabama, hey, they've been scoring in the first half as well to the tune of about 23 points a game in that first half. So 25-23, well, that's closer than the 6. And we've seen what Diego's been able to do moving the ball. But I think here in this one, I think they're going to try to rely a little more on that run game. But they've relied on that run game all season long so far as Vanderbilt. You want to keep it out of Alabama's hands offensively. So trying to keep control, winning that time of the possession, which is what they did last year. Winning that time of possession is big. They've got 3 running backs that have over 2 touchdowns already, does Vanderbilt. Cedric's got 4. Young's got 4. Jemizel's got 2 himself as well. So I think you lean heavy on the run, keep it out of Alabama's hand, here to kick off this game, and that'll lead us to a closer scoring one. So give me Vandy plus the 6 here in the first half. Hey, that wraps up the first game we got on the slate. Let's head on over to another big game. We got Texas heading into the Swamp to take on the Gators. Game I like. I'll get us going here in this one, and you look, hey, Texas rolling along 3-1, right? They lost to Ohio State to start their season, but since then turned it around and winners of 3 straight football games. Looking real good doing it. Their defense looking like that defense of last year, replacing with the guys that they replaced last year. That was the biggest question mark. Can the defense step back up? Well, we've seen it. Another test here against these Gators that I'm not sold on the Gators offense. Defensively, yes, the Gators have been pretty good, but offensively, I don't think this is where things will make a difference. I get why this line has moved. It wasn't 7 for Texas, and we've seen some movement as we've been shooting this video. It's come down 5.5 in most places for Texas laying it here. I love Texas in this spot. I think they've got things going, and it's just one of those spots I don't trust the Gators enough offensively to be able to keep up. I think defensively they might be able to slow Texas up a little bit, but eventually when the dust is all settled, I think Texas has got themselves a 10-plus point win here. They just got too many weapons, and Archie Manning is starting to feel it, starting to distribute that ball around. They can run the ball, they can pass the ball, and I think that's what they do against this Gator squad. They do enough to get the 10-plus point win here, and that gives us a cover. Give me Texas, lay the 5.5 here in this matchup. I don't know where the Vegas Al. What do you like here in this one?
No, yeah, arching those weapons. I see him, DeAndre Moore here, Ryan Wingo on the outside, but I actually think he's going to go to Parker Livingstone, the freshman wide receiver, 6'4" kid out here. I think he has a good connection with him. Livingstone's leading the team in receiving yards this year, already almost 300 yards receiving to start the year. Do I think Wingo and Moore will have a good day as well for Texas? Yes, probably. But just the line and the value that we have at only 30.5 yards receiving for Parker Livingstone. We'll take the over 30.5 yards receiving for Parker Livingstone.
Heading on over to the Ninos. What do you like here in this matchup?
Yeah, very low total in this one. And I'll be looking at the first half play here. But if you were to look at the total, I think if you like the under, you'd go full game. Not that I'm looking that way. And then if you like the over, I think the stronger play would be on the over 20.5 in the first half, just based on these numbers here. Another number I like better in the first half myself. Now, this number, as you said, is getting better for Texas. And if it gets any better than this, I might like the full game better. But as of right now, I'm seeing a -3 in the first half. And I think that worst case scenario there, as the way I'm looking at it, is a push there going into the first half. I just don't see Texas not going into the locker room with the lead there. So I'll lay the field goal there with Texas in the first half.
Hey, that wraps up game number 2 that we got for you on the slate. Let's head on over to the third game we're looking at for you today. We got Virginia taking on Louisville. Vegas Al's game. He's going to get us going. Who do you got here in this one?
All right, well, Virginia got it done for us there last week against FSU. That was a nice little shot we took. I'm not scared to go right back to them here. I think this is an elite team. They just cracked the top 25. They got some nice mojo working after that big win. And, a little bit of extra time here, at least a day, to compare, a day more to look for film here against Louisville. Louisville is undefeated here with quarterback Miller Moss. But I don't know. I like Chandler Morris a lot more. Almost 1,300 yards in the air this year already. 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And then he's added 4 rushing touchdowns here already this year. A nice little dual threat quarterback that Virginia has. I think they're the real deal. I think they're going to win a couple games here, get a nice little run. I think Louisville's just in the way. We'll take the +7, +6.5, whatever number you can get. I'm not even scared to sprinkle on the money line here, but we'll take the points here with Virginia.
Heading on over to Ninos. Who do you like here in this matchup?
Yeah, I'm expecting a bit of a back-and-forth shootout in this one. And I also kind of like Virginia getting 3.5 here in the first half I'm seeing. But the look I like even better than that. I'll be looking at the total here in that first half again. Could go full game as well. And again, what should be a bit of a shootout with a full game total posted at 61. But I'll just stick to the first half there, 30.5. I think we see a lot of back and forth early. I think both these offenses can get the first step on these defenses and get rolling early. So I'll go over 30.5 in that first half.
Yeah, for me in this one, I'll go over in the full game. I think we see plenty of offense. I know this Louisville Cardinals defense at times, they don't like to tackle. Matador defense, as they say, it's what they do. They're not big on grinding it up. You look what they've done in their conference games, and they're giving up 27 points a game in their conference games. And I think this Virginia squad, you look, they're completing almost 70% of their passes and getting about 300 yards through the air. They're able to run the ball as well, and that's big. I know Louisville's been pretty good at stopping the run this season so far, but look at strength of schedule wise, Virginia's definitely had the more tougher strength of schedule, and they're averaging 5.8 yards per play. I think they're able to almost pin whatever number they want here. I think the offense is shining this one, as Al said. He likes the over in the first half. I like the over in the full game. I think it continues. 61.5. I think we'd get well into the 60s. You might even get into 70s. With the way these two teams have been scoring offense, one's scoring well into the 40s, one's almost into the 40s. So a lot of offense here in this one. Give us the over Virginia and Louisville. Hey, that wraps it up for Saturday's slate. Let us know what you think about the three games we covered in the comments section below. And then we'll do a quick little recap before we head on out. First game we looked at, Vandy heading into Alabama. This is Ninos' game. He says grab Vandy plus the points here in this one. Next game we looked at, I got Texas taking on the Gators. I say lay the points with Texas. I think they get the job done there. And then the last game we looked at, Vegas Al's game. He's got UVA heading into Louisville. Grab the points with UVA again as the dog. Getting disrespect. And then also a little bonus play for you. We all kind of like it. Kind of consensus here. We got the Hurricanes. Big battle taking on Florida State. I think the Hurricanes are the better squad. I think Beck and company get the job done. We see it at 4. And it's funny, that line has been dropping since we've been shooting this video. I still think the Hurricanes win by 7+. So a little bonus play that we're all in consensus with. Lay it with the Hurricanes. They beat the Seminoles in that one on this Saturday. That's the big night game, so we had to throw it in there for you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate everybody that tunes in to cover the spread. Let's make it a great Saturday. And do what we always do, and that is
cover the spread.